when we saw that, look. And if you read Bishop Dakeward Mills' resignation letter, he said, look, he could no longer be part of this. They have built magnificent edifices for far less. And so much money. At the time he resigned, they had spent about $30 million. And he said all he was seeing was a hole. So he can't take it any longer. Shraj is confirming that. 6, the contract was awarded by the Board of Trustees to the contractor without recourse to the concurrent approval by the Central Tender Review Committee, a key requirement of the Procurement Act having regards to the contract sum. 7, the National Cathedral of Ghana did not strictly comply with the rules of public procurement provided for under Act 663 as amended by Act 914 when it purported to select and award the contract for the construction of the National Cathedral to Rebadi Limited. Another confirmation, you recall that more than 2 years ago, I did an RTI request to the PPA, asking them if they knew about this project, if they had granted approval. The PPA responded that no approval. Shraj has gone into that, interviewed the PPA. There's a lot of communication they have attached, and it's been confirmed. Indeed, when the National Cathedral Board and Secretary appeared before Shraj, when you read this report, they said that they thought that because it was started at the president's personal pledge and it was not really public, they didn't need to go through the procurement authority. Shraj pointed out to them that that response is contradictory because when it came to the consultant, they went to PPA for approval. So, quite a double standard. Shraj did not understand their explanation. Even though Shraj says that even with the procurement of David Ajayi, the consultant, they used the emergency provision under the law. Shraj did not agree that that is a proper use of the law. But Shraj says that at least for that one, you made an attempt, even if you abused the law, you made an attempt to go through procurement. How come, when it comes to the construction, Rebadi, the contractor, moving to site and receiving all of these sums of money, we now know they've received, well, they haven't received all the money. There's been a lot of diversions. But a contract that they were going to receive about $312 million of public funds, no procurement. So Shraj did not buy the excuse by the board and the secretariat.
So just hold on. Let's clarify something. The services of a consultant was secured before the award of the contract.
Yes.
But when it came to securing the service of the consultant, David Ajayi, the Board of Trustees, knowing very well that it was a personal pledge of the president and it had nothing to do with public funds, still saw the need to use the emergency clause and go to PPA for approval.
For single sourcing.
For single sourcing. But when it came to the contract itself, after the procurement of the consultant, they realized that it was a personal pledge to God and they didn't need PPA.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And Shraj says that, look, they are not buying that when you read this report.
Right.
I continue with the summary of findings. Finding number 8. The contract awarded Rebadi Company Limited for the construction of the National Cathedral is illegal and void ab initio. This is explosive. It's illegal. So all the monies they've collected, they ought to be refunded it. It's illegal. The contract is illegal and void ab initio. Damning. Very explosive. 9, it says that the procurement breaches that occasioned the award of the contract to Rebadi Company Limited raises reasonable suspicion of corruption and corruption-related offenses.
Oral number 1.
Yeah. Then Shraj continues to make further observations. The first observation Shraj makes is the shocking levels of lack of documentation.
Okay.
He says, 1, the Commission notes with great concern the informal nature surrounding the processes leading to the transfer of the money to the National Cathedral by the 5th respondent. And this is the 2.6 million. It talks about administrative lapses at such high positions should not be countenanced. Good corporate governance requires that minutes of directors' meetings ought to be taken and kept in a minutes book. This is to ensure that the documentation of key issues discussed at meetings. Unfortunately, both the National Cathedral of Ghana and the Fifth Respondent Company failed to take minutes at meetings under which the issue of the financial assistance was discussed.
So they are saying that there are no records of board meetings with respect to that 2.6
that 2.6 million, which they now claim was a loan they were paying back.
Yeah, so there ought to have been records of a meeting that agreed that provide us the loan, let your company give the loan, this is the amount. They could not provide that.
They could not provide that. Okay. And yet, Shraj
concluded that
it is a loan.
Although he didn't see any evidence.
He didn't see any evidence. He concludes that it's a loan. Okay. So let's buy their story.
You don't agree with that one?
I don't agree with that. So I'll come to that. That is in the second category. I'll come to that.
No, I think the most important thing is that Shraj itself is saying that there is no documentary evidence of any decisions at the level of the trustees.
Because let me read page 162. The National Cathedral Board, they told Shraj that, quote, our modus operandi is that we agree among ourselves and do not take minutes of directors' meetings, unquote. Yes. And Shraj continues.
Please read that again.
He said, our modus operandi is that we agree among ourselves not to take minutes of directors' meetings.
Who's saying this? The Board of Trustees?
Yes.
Of the National Cathedral?
Yes, page 162. It's available online. Everybody can go and read it. So Shraj then says that, look, this is rather a very unfortunate situation and needs to be discouraged. It has the potential to cast doubts in the minds of the ordinary man on the integrity of transactions, and it's a very dangerous practice. Interesting.
So they are saying that asking somebody to give them a loan of 2.6 million, they can agree amongst themselves.
Among themselves, yes. No minutes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And then Shraj says Shraj says that in light of the foregoing, and in light of the commission taking notice of the fact that the Board of Trustees of National Cathedral are all clergymen who may or may not be well versed in corporate governance, the commission recommends additionally that capacity building in good corporate governance be organized for the board by credible professional bodies such as the Institute of Directors.
But who represented the trust there?
Dr. Paul Opoku-Mensah, and at the point Professor Opoku-Onyena.
Yeah, but Dr. Paul Opoku-Mensah, doesn't he have capacity?
Good question, because he's not really technically a clergyman, you know, and he's appointed as executive secretary. Okay. Then Shraj continues. He says, also of crucial importance is the amount spent so far on the National Cathedral. Our investigation showed that as at 31st May 2022, the amount of 225,962,500 Ghana cedis, described as seed money, had been released for the construction of the National Cathedral per Exhibit 9. This sum of money has been expended, according to Exhibit 9, on site preparation, contractors mobilization, US fundraising, consultants, and symposia. The stated sum of money is no small amount. Public interest dictates that there ought to be value for money in project execution. Unfortunately, this commission has no expertise to determine whether there has been value for money, considering the project remains in the same state. Accordingly, the commission recommends that the Auditor General should conduct a forensic audit on the construction of the National Cathedral project with its inception to date to ascertain whether monies released for its construction have been properly utilized. Having found that the contract awarded to Ribadi Company Limited is void ab initio for being entered into contrary to the mandatory provisions of the Procurement Act, Act 663, as amended by Act 914, the Commission also recommends that the Board of the Public Procurement Authority should intervene to cancel the contract for the construction of the National Cathedral between the National Cathedral and Ribadi Company, as it has the power to do so under the Procurement Act. Now this gets even more explosive. Shraj then says that the Commission further recommends for further investigation and possible prosecution of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral, who superintended over the award of the contract to Ribadi Company in disregard to Act 663 as amended. These breaches of the procurement laws have the potential of causing international embarrassment to the country, considering the international status of Ribade Company Limited. Remember that Ribade is a joint venture of the Italian firm Rizzani di Ecca, Babi Soti, and Di Simoni, who are owned by Italians but incorporated in Ghana. So, Shraj is saying that all the board of trustees should be further investigated and should be prosecuted. So, I don't remember the last time this country had such a damning report. Very, very explosive. That over $58 million spent on an illegality. No recourse to the procurement laws. Shraj cannot vouch that we have had value for money. And when you read this report from pages 120 to about 160, Shraj attaches pictures. They did a site visitation, and in their own words, they were shocked at what they saw. Just a pit. And at the time, they were working with documentation up to 22nd May. 225 million. We know that later on, Ken Ofori-Atta came to Parliament and has told us that there were even more withdrawals. Now, the actual withdrawal from the documentations we have in Parliament is 339 million Ghana cedis, $58 million. And it's still a pit.
Sammy, help me with something.
Yeah.
On the part where Shraj says that the trustees, the board of trustees told them that they don't keep records, they agree among themselves. Right. Did the commission invite the trustees personally to find out from them whether they were part of any discussion?
Interesting question. No, you don't get that. I've read the entire 165 pages.
So how did they arrive at that?
Yeah. But that's what they were told. They were told that
so
the board told Shraj that we have agreed that we don't take minutes.
My question is that there are individuals who constitute the board.
Yeah.
Now, a representative of the trust has come to you. On a transaction, they say there are no documentation. They say that we asked a company, which is a company owned by one of us, to give us a loan of 2.6 million. We don't have any documentary proof to that. Our excuse or reason is that amongst ourselves, we can agree verbally or orally to do that. Should Shraj, because this is somebody representing the trustee saying it, should Shraj not have gone the second level to now speak with those individuals involved to find out from them whether indeed Reverend Dag Heward-Mills, you were part of a discussion to take a loan of 2.6 million. Archbishop Duncan Williams, you were part of this. Reverend Dr. Joyce, you were part of this. I thought that is what to ascertain in the absence of the documentary proof. If you are going to accept, you see, in the absence of documentary proof, you are not telling us that you are accepting the assertion that we don't have documentary proof, but amongst us, we agree on some of these decisions. Shouldn't you go the extra level to ask those individuals on the committee whether indeed they were part of this decision?
It's just fair you do that.
Anyway.
Okay. So this leads me to the second part of the Shraj.
I thought we were going to deal with the first part and then maybe come to
so you want to come in on the first? Okay.
I think that would be better.
Okay, sure. That's fine.
So that we don't have a long...
Sure.
That's fine.
Come on. Yes. Look, you wanted Sammy to come out clearly and tell all of us what exactly he was seeking from Shraj.
Yes.
But of course, he just gone straight to give us recommendations of Shraj and findings of Shraj, as it were. I'm not sure he was able to just tell us that, look, I asked for A,
I stated
B, C, D.
Yes, I stated that. The procurement breaches.
That's fine.
And then the conflict of interest, the double identity.
That's okay. And now, on the procurement breaches, on the law, we all agree that, yes, we have an establishment called the PPA. We all agree that all public entities who are supposed to enter into contract or whatever must do that with recourse to the PPA. if Suraj have actually made their findings and think that the due process of the law wasn't followed or the actual course wasn't followed, yes, these are findings that they have made. Answers are supposed to be, gotten from the trustee or the board of trustees. And if they feel it is not so, or they feel otherwise, if they have an appellate process to, ventilate their views, and also...
You mean the cathedral?
The cathedral board, okay. And also tell us that, look, we didn't do anything wrong. They have the right to also, or they reserve the right to also go on that process. But you see, it's interesting how we paint the picture conclusively, as if that is the end. I am saying that...
I don't understand.
No, yes, I'm saying that if a report of this nature is out, Doc, and it involves very, 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 important personalities in this country, not just, individuals we all respect, okay, and Sami also alludes to that. It's important we hear from them as well. And the last time I checked, it appears they're seeking to contest these findings to the extent that some were even making comments of going to court.
Really?
Yes, well, I don't know, but it is not official as it were. But I've heard that they are contesting the outcome, or some are contesting the outcome of these findings, as it were, because they may have their, input. Like you rightly asked, whether when the information was given to Suraj that we have agreed not to take meetings or minutes at our meetings, we have agreed not to have records. Your question to that effect was, did Suraj go extra mile to establish that with the entirety of the board that we have? You and I do not know that before even this came out.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked, because you see, Suraj says that, and not just Suraj. We know that strikes. That's the law. If a board decides to take a facility, the board decides to take a facility, there must be minutes to reflect that decision.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Suraj says that there was no documentary evidence to that, because, mind you, take note of the fact that this was a specific allegation.
Absolutely.
Bordering on conflict of interest. And so the processes leading to a determination of whether indeed it constitutes conflict of interest or not is what we expect Suraj to deal with. Now, Suraj is telling us in this document that there was no documentary proof. Yes, they said that it was a loan.
They all agreed.
They didn't provide anything to back it. However, they told us that amongst them, there is this agreement. They can take these decisions without documentary proof. That's what you were told by those who represented the body.
And your issue is,
now,
did they go...
Now, if you look at their conclusion, on the basis of the absence of documentary evidence, and on the basis of the assertion that amongst us, we agree on some of these things, they go ahead to conclude that indeed it was a loan, nothing untoward happened. So that's why I asked, that did they go the extra mile to find out from the individuals who constitute that
whether
board,
the information
whether indeed, because if there were documentary proof, then you will say that there is no basis, because the minutes will tell you who and who were there and what happened.
Absolutely. But see, Randy, there is this document here, supposed to be coming from the National Cathedral, which has to do with an audit conducted, by Deloitte or so, is it Deloitte and Touche, which says that statutory audit report of the National Cathedral of Ghana for the period of ended 31st December 2020. And this is what they find.
Take note. Kamadin, as you read it, take note of when the audit ended, the year. Take note.
It ended, 2020, 31st December 2020. 2020.
4 years ago.
Very well, 4 years ago.
And also take note of the fact that this is the National Cathedral's statement, interpretation of the audit. They have not published the audit. We have been demanding a publication of the audit. This is the National Cathedral document. It's not the audit you are reading.
But you listen to what the document says. And the document, I mean, this was written on the 24th of September 2024.
By who?
By the National Cathedral.
Oh, good.
Okay? Indicating that an audit has been conducted, and this is the report in the tentative they've had from the auditors. Now, the auditor says that the auditors have confirmed.
It's not the auditors who are saying.
Okay, the information says that the auditors have confirmed and corroborated all receipts and expenditures on the project since inception by all parties, including the state. The auditors independently confirmed donations received by the National Cathedral nationwide. The auditors performed the relevant confirmations from all the financial institutions involved in the project. I'm saying, if indeed this document is something to go with, it tells us that there's two sides of the story now.
No.
The National Cathedral, wait a minute. The National Cathedral says, look, an audit has been conducted on us. No adverse findings, as it were.
An audit up to end year 2020.
Sure.
2020. That's why I said take note of that.
I've understood that.
Yes. And for any institution that is interested in demonstrating transparency and everything,
yes,
it's an audit report. This is a public project. It's not a private project.
Absolutely.
And with all the public interest in the matter, why didn't the National Cathedral simply publish the audited accounts for all of us to look at? Why didn't they do that? Do they have to keep the audited accounts and they tell us what is in that audit account? Is that how it is done?
But Randy, what is important is that has there been an audit on them? And is that established?
Yeah, we know. The commission
except
an audit.
to say that the report hasn't been out.
I'm saying that they commissioned an audit.
Yes.
True.
Sure.
This statement you are talking about precedes Shraj. Sure. It precedes they going to Shraj and Shraj concluding on whatever is done. This audit they are talking about, the audits that were done were up to 2020. Don't forget that the cathedral did not cease to exist from December 31st, 2020. Now I'm saying that in the spirit of transparency and everything, we are dealing with people who are deemed to be closer to heaven than all of us. In the spirit of transparency, there's a public interest matter. You have communicated to us publicly that you have appointed. In fact, there was a letter from some of the trustees demanding an audit.
Yes, I saw.
Yes, and that those documents were made public. Then the appointment of the auditors was made public. And all this clergy says that, look, the way forward will be dependent on the outcome of the audit. The audit has been concluded. What is the right thing to do? Don't you have to publish the audit?
You would have to publish the audit as it.
Yes, but you have to keep the audit, and you come and tell us that the audit says there was nothing wrong.
Well,
this Shraj one we are talking about is the Shraj document not public?
Yeah, it's public. It is.
Yes. So although there are summary, Shraj even has a summary. So on what basis am I asking the questions I'm asking? It is on the basis that there is a copy of the Shraj report.
Absolutely.
So I'm able to then interrogate it. Yeah. That if you said this is what happened, how did you reach this conclusion? Do you understand what I'm saying? So a public interest matter where you have this top senior members of society, I even want to put their clergy things aside, who have come up to say that, hey, we want an audit. With all the brouhaha that is going on. You say, yes, we've commissioned an audit. We've chosen one of the top 4 to do the audit. The audit has been done.
Yeah.
Why do you keep the audit in your armpit and tell us that?
I agree with you when we ask for the report by the auditors to be made public. I agree completely with you because of the integrity of the people involved even is at stake, which is very important. I would also like to say that, look, this report by Shraj indeed is what we have now. And having that now, question is, are we demanding answers now from the Board of Trustees? Now, if we are demanding answers now from the Board of Trustees based on the report that we have now, it is important the Board of Trustees come out to explain to us why PPA was not actually contacted for the Badi contract. It is important for them to come out to tell us that, look, this is the amount so far we have expended, and this is how we have gone about it. So I'm saying, yes, we have this report, but we expect more to this report now coming from the National Cathedral for us to have a conclusive argument or discussion on this matter, right, as it were. Yes, what was the intent of the National Cathedral, Randy? Good intention. Nobody will say that, look, the Christian community in this country should not have an interdenominational, edifice where we can have our worship going on, as it were. It was a good intent by the President of the Republic of Ghana and by the government of Nana Addo. However, in the course of that, we've had one or two instances which we feel that is not proper. Okay? Like I said, explanation must come to that effect, but we should not seek to chastise the product entirely. My view is that, look, there are other countries where we've had, this National Cathedral running. We've had, edifices like this, of course, been there, and they use it to the benefit of the nation, especially when we see it falls under museum and museums, as it were, and monuments, where we're going to see tourism, a boost for tourism, as it were. But it's important that every step of the way, whatever we do, there should be clarity. So I agree with Sammy, of course, when he peruses these documents and asks questions and expect answers for us to be clear on this. These are men who we all respect, and these are people I believe that will come out to respond to some of these findings, so that at the end of the day, we will all be clear the way forward.
Yeah. All right. Sammy, so part two.
Good. So part two, I'll deal with double identity and conflict of interest. Let us all remember that this whole matter was triggered by our request in Parliament of how much has so far been spent on National Cathedral and what they have used the money for. Doc, you will recall that following our discovery that on the blind side of Parliament, monies were being withdrawn for the National Cathedral project. The government, after considerable public uproar and upheaval, decided that this time they will come to Parliament and they will ask for the 2022 budget process going into 2023. That's for the 2023 budget. They will ask for some 80 million Ghana cedis for us to approve. They now wanted to do things properly. We then asked them, when I say them, I mean the National Cathedral of Ghana, to give us a breakdown of how they have used the 339 million Ghana cedis, how they have used that money. So, Shraj indicates that the documents that have been submitted to them aligns with what was brought to Parliament. And so when you read page 50 of this report, you see a confirmation of what was brought to Parliament, which is the fact that the National Cathedral Secretariat of Ghana, on their own, they submitted documents saying that we have paid 2.6 million Ghana cedis to JNS Talent Center Limited for contractors mobilization. Contractors mobilization. Now, I got curious that I know that the contractor of this National Cathedral project is Rebadi.
Yeah.
What is JNS doing here? I was hearing JNS for the first time. And that is what triggered my investigations into this matter. Then I discover that there is a Kwabna Edu Jemfi, who is director of JNS Talent Center Limited, receiving these 2.6 million. And then it turns out that Kwabna Edu Jemfi is the same Victor Kusi Boateng, operating under a dual identity, a different guise. Now, having discovered this JNS Talent Center 2.6 million conundrum, I decided to dig further. Then I noticed that there is a consistent pattern. This is somebody who, up until this point, operates in these two entities. When he is operating as Victor Kusi Boateng, he says he was born on the 7th of September 1971. His mother's name, his mother who gave birth to him on 7th September 1971 is Agnes Attah. And he has a unique TIN, a unique tax identification number, which is P0025. I'll leave out the rest. Then when he's operating as Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, he claims to be born 30th December 1969, 2 years apart. His mother's name is Ya Jemfua, another woman, very miraculous. And then he has a unique TIN for that identity as well, P00627. I'll leave out the rest. Now, ladies and gentlemen who are viewing us, after making this discovery and noticing that there are multiple companies under these different identities, I wrote to the Ghana Revenue Authority. I did a formal RTI request on the 25th of January 2023. On the 3rd of February 2023, the Ghana Revenue Authority responded. And I have the response here signed by Madam Florence Asante, Assistant Commissioner in charge of communications and public relations. 3rd February 2023. And it reads, Honorable Samuel Kudus Ablakwa, MP for Northton, Ranking Member Foreign Affairs Committee, dear sir, request for information. This bears reference to your letter dated 25th January 2023, with reference number NTC MP01230002 on the above subject, in which you have provided two distinct taxpayer identification numbers as belonging to the same individual. Pursuant to the relevant provisions of the Right to Information Act 2019, Act 989, and the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915, as amended, we have verified the two distinct taxpayer identification numbers as captured on our Total Revenue Integrated Processing System TRIPS, and which respond as follows. Yes, there is in the database Victor Kusi Boateng with this TIN, a date of birth, a mother as Agnes Attah, the date of birth 7 September 1971, and the identification document, the source document that was used, was a driver's license. The letter continues. Yes, there's a Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi with a different date of birth, 30 December 1969. The mother's name, Ya Jemfua. The identification document used was a passport. This is very clear that Victor Kusi Boateng is a different personality from Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, if you look at his modus operandi, which is criminal. There's no doubt about that. I went further to even discover from the DVLA database that he has a driver's license, a copy of which I have here, in a different name, Victor Kusi Boateng. Then he has a Ghana card in another name when you look into the NIA database in the name Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi. I also discovered from the Electoral Commission's database, copies of which I have here, and I'll share them with you, my brother, that in 2016, he was issued with a voter ID, with voter ID number 4863016. I'll leave out the rest. Where he said he was 40 years of age, and it's here, 40 years of age. 2016. It's here. In 2020, 4 years after, he was issued another voter's ID card with voter ID 890700181. I leave out the rest. This time saying he's 50 years of old. So between 2016 and 2020, he grew by 10 years. Every year he goes by 2.5 years. So it's here. I went into the database. Ladies and gentlemen, I presented all of this to Shraj. Everything. Shraj, indeed, admits that they were in possession of all of this. Please come with me to page 39 of the report, and let's see how Shraj dealt with these matters. Page 39 of this report. And let us see if Shraj was fair to me as a complainant and fair to the evidence before them. Page 39. Because I've heard people say that, oh, he didn't even go with evidence. He was just on Metro TV and social media. He has no evidence. Let's come to the report. Page 39. Shraj states, it is noteworthy that the other allegations contained in the complainant's 9th March 2023 letter, which revolve around the fourth respondent, that's Victor Kusi-Boateng, Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, allegedly making false statements or declarations in order to obtain 2 tax identification numbers in both 2013 and 2016, are matters falling outside the mandate areas of the commission. Thus, the commission will not delve into it. Surprising. The commission said don't delve into it.
They don't have jurisdiction.
That's their claim. They say they don't have jurisdiction.
Let's continue. Okay. And I will expose that very soon. Shraj then says, this is particularly so. They are giving the reasons. And they don't raise jurisdictional issues. This is the reason they give. They say, this is particularly so because at the relevant time at which the purported acts were allegedly taken, the fourth respondent, that's Victor Kusi-Boateng, Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, was not a public officer. That's the reason Shraj is giving.
Oh, okay.
That at the time he committed these crimes, he was not a public officer.
Okay.
The fourth respondent only became a public officer in March 2017 when the National Cathedral Board was inaugurated.
Okay.
So Shraj is saying that they won't delve into all of these matters because when he engaged in them, he was not a public officer. I will soon expose.
But they say he became a public officer in 2017.
In 2017. Meanwhile...
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay. In incorporating the Board of Trustees of the Cathedral...
Thank you very much, Randy.
Were any of these documents used as his ID?
Absolutely.
In becoming the status of a public officer?
Absolutely.
Were any of these documents used?
Yes. In incorporating the National Cathedral of Ghana, he used his driver's license. That is why if you look at the National Cathedral of Ghana, the incorporation documents, he is there as Victor Kusi-Boateng, born 7 September 1971.
But is Shraj not aware of this?
And is Shraj not aware that he has continued to even incorporate many other companies, even after 2071?
Post-2017?
Post-2017, pardon.
In the Victor Kusi-Boateng
In the Victor Kusi-Boateng name.
Did you make that available to them?
I made all of that available. I have the documents here.
Okay.
Look, in 14 January 2019, Victor Kusi-Boateng, this is the Victor Kusi-Boateng companies. I made it available to Shraj. He incorporated El Dunamis Media Limited, 14 January 2019. 26 March 2019, after 2017, he incorporated On Point One Laundry Limited. In 2021, 14 May 2021, he incorporates Vibrant Generation Chapel Worldwide, LBG. As a public officer, he continued with the double identity scheme. 20th May 2021, he incorporated another company, Dunamis Chapel Worldwide, LBG. I submitted all of this to Shraj. As Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, whilst he was doing all of this post-2017, as Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, post-2017, 21st October 2020, he incorporated the 4Bs Company Limited. Since November 2020, he incorporates Annie Beats Petroleum Limited. 19 April 2021, he incorporates Great Speed Engineering and Construction Limited. This is at the Kwabena Edu Gyamfi.
So he was using both
concurrently at the same time, post 2017, as a public official.
And
so
you made this available.
I made it available to Shraj. So what is Shraj saying? That is why I'm so upset. Shraj was sloppy. They were totally shady and shoddy with the work they did on the double identity. Totally sloppy. Look, let me continue. He incorporated more companies. 9th December 2021, as Kwabena Edu Gyamfi, he incorporates New Wave FM Limited. 8th June 2022, he incorporates another company, Lloyd's General and Risk Limited. 16th January 2023, interesting, that was the day of my expose. That day, he incorporates Dunamis Insurance Brokers Limited. 16th January 2023.
There's one Dunamis under Kusi Boating.
Yes.
There's one Dunamis
under yes. The Kusi Boating one is L Dunamis.
L Dunamis. This is just Dunamis.
The Kwabena Edu Gyamfi one is only Dunamis. Okay. You know. So all of this was before Shraj. Now listen to what Shraj says at page 40. The commission is, however, mindful of the fact that making false declarations is a criminal offense, as provided under section 248 and 251 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29, which provides that whoever, in order that he may obtain or be qualified to act in any public office or to vote at any public election, makes, signs, publishes, or uses any declaration, statement, or oath required by law in such case, or any certificate or testimonial as to his conduct or services, or as to any other matter which is material for the obtaining by him of such office, or for his qualification to act in such office, or to vote at such election, shall, if he does so, knowing that the declaration, statement, oath, certificate, or testimonial is false in any material particular, is guilty of a misdemeanor. 251 provides, whoever with intent to defeat, obstruct, or prevent the course of justice or the due execution of the law, or to obtain or assist in or facilitate obtaining of any passport, instrument, concession, appointment, permission, or other privilege or advantage, endeavors to deceive or to overreach any public officer, acting in the execution of any public office or duty by personation, or by any false instrument, document, seal, signature, or by any false statement, declaration, or assurance, with the person making such statement, declaration, or assurance did not have good reason to believe to be true, is guilty of misdemeanor. This is Shraj. And this is what Shraj then says. Accordingly, the Commission is making a referral to the Attorney General of this allegation for investigation and necessary action. So they play Pontius Pilate, says that, he was not a public officer. We only investigate public officials. Meanwhile, if they had just looked at the face of the evidence before them, they will have known that he has continued, even as we speak.
In fact, he used one of those documents to
incorporate the National Cathedral of Ghana
of a public officer.
Exactly. So Shraj then washes their hands and plays Pontius Pilate. We are forwarding this criminal aspect to the Attorney General. So I ask those who are out there saying that, Kusi Boating should see Okudzeto Ablakwa. I've heard a lot of MPP propagandists. He should see Okudzeto Ablakwa. Okudzeto Ablakwa has been exposed. He lied. Where is this report? This even though Shraj has been sloppy and shoddy, it is still damning. They have referred him to the Attorney General because they state clearly that this evidence is criminal conduct under our Criminal Offences Act. And so the Attorney General should deal with it. So how can anybody out there say that Kusi Boating has been exonerated and that I have been exposed for lying? How?
So Kamal, just hold on. Let me sort out one thing with Sammy and But Sammy, did you ask Shraj to look into the passports of Reverend Kusi Boating or Kwabena Edu Gyamfi? Did you ask them?
Yes.
What did you ask them for?
I said that I have reasonable suspicion based on what I had seen. Driver's license, the voter ID, the Ghana card. I had reasonable suspicion that it is possible that he may have a second passport, particularly when in one of the companies, in the course of my investigations, I saw that there was another passport used. So that is why I said that they should check that. But I did not only hinge my petition on only passports. I provided the driver's license, which is in the name of Victor Kusi Boateng, the Ghana card in the name of Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi. The GRA response to the RTI saying that in their database he is there twice. And GRA promised an investigation that this is embarrassing to them as an institution because they thought they were robust.
So your point is that even as a public officer, he was committing...
Exactly. So I am surprised that...
So that's right. So you have the right
to go into the passport.
And what did you find?
So when you read the findings, let me come to page 159. This is what Suraj says they found on passports. And it's interesting. When it comes to all the other IDs, those ones they say,
he acquired them
it looks like it happened before. So that one they play Pontius Pilate. Attorney General, you deal with it. We are not interested. But passports, they were interested. And this is what they say at page 159. The fourth respondent, Victor Kusi Boateng, a.k.a. Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi. And should Suraj even be entertaining this? Writing this with Victor Kusi Boateng, a.k.a. I mean, what's that? What's the meaning of that? When I have produced evidence that shows that this is not an alias.
Okay.
And Suraj then writes, the fourth respondent, Victor Kusi Boateng, a.k.a. Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi.
So
they are willing to sacrifice their reputation.
So that suggests that they believe that his name is Victor Kusi Boateng. And the Kwabena is an alias.
It's an alias.
Yeah.
So just hold on. No, don't worry. You don't have to worry about it. Proceed to read.
Okay. Good. And it says, does not hold two different passports, each bearing one of his two names with different dates of birth on each document. There is no Victor Kusi Boateng in the passport database.
Right.
The fourth respondent has rather been issued 4 ordinary passports, 3 of which have expired, and 1 diplomatic passport under his name with the same date of birth. So this is what they say.
Yes.
So I have even been asking myself, how does even this amount to an exoneration? You are appointed as a public official as Victor Kusi Boateng. That is on the National Cathedral and Corporation documents. Your appointment letter, indeed the letter from the office of the president, signed by Nana Asante Bediatu, which is in this report, is that you are Victor Kusi Boateng. Then when it comes to giving you passport, diplomatic passport to go and work, I'm glad you are here. You are a top diplomat now. You know that diplomatic passport is given.
No, in fact, the office of the president incorporates the board of trustees.
Exactly.
In incorporating the board of trustees, they have an ID. We all, if you are going to be a director, they need your ID.
Sure.
They use an ID that bears the name Victor Kusi Boateng to appoint the person and get the registrar of companies to register the person as a trustee of the board. Not so. Now, when you have to issue the person with a passport for the same purpose, you accept an ID different from your appointment letter and the documentation that you incorporated the person as a trustee in, and issued the person a diplomatic passport to work for the purposes of the cathedral. In the name other than what we will find on your website, what we will find on your letterhead, what we find on your appointment letter, what we find at the Registrar General for Incorporation of the Cathedral and its Board of Trustees. And you said that was not interested in all of this.
It's shocking. It's shocking. And in that passport, the date of birth there is 30th December 1969.
Which passport?
The diplomatic passport.
Yes. But that's consistent with all the other passports.
Consistent with all of Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi. When he's Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, he's mastered it. When he's Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, he has the same mother, same date of birth, but different from when he's operating as Victor Kusi Boateng. And Suraj is telling us that they're not interested in this and that these things have happened when he was a private person, but it's not true. Based on this, I was expecting that Suraj would say that no, this is criminal. How can you be appointed as Victor Kusi Boateng and then you are issued a diplomatic passport in another name, Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi? Now,
did they ask the board, the National Cathedral Board, to explain that situation, to explain how they did the incorporation, the appointment and incorporation as Victor Kusi Boateng, yet issued a passport as that?
No.
Did they ask them to clarify it?
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Did they ask him to clarify it?
No. Well, at least when you read this report, I don't know if they did and they didn't put it in the report. I've read the entire 165 pages and you don't see that. Clearly, Siraj was not just interested in the double identity. They had played Pontius Pilate, totally misled themselves, whether it was misleading themselves or just trying to give Kusi Boateng a pass. No, please, I'm not done. Okay, please, let me finish, please. Now, also before Siraj, Doc, and this is very significant, was a 13th July 2023 judgment of the High Court by Her Ladyship, Justice Barbara Tete Chawe. I have a copy of the judgment here, where the High Court has determined this double identity matter. And for the record, I didn't go to the High Court. It is Victor Kusi Boateng Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi who went to the High Court.
Which of the names went to court?
Interesting. So, in the High Court judgment, Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi went to court, alias Victor Kusi Boateng.
Oh, so he put the Kusi Boateng as an alias.
Yes. Now,
Siraj is
the name he
but
says
now gives him Kusi Boateng.
But Siraj is alias Victor Kusi Boateng and alias Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi.
Right.
I mean, Banana Republic.
Right.
Institutions making a mess of it.
Okay, so what about you're making with the court? Yes.
This is what the court said. Page 30, paragraph 86. Clearly, the evidence before the court overwhelmingly demonstrates that the applicant, who describes himself as Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, alias Victor Kusi Boateng, uses two names independent of each other for different purposes and does so concurrently.
That's the court speaking.
High Court of Ghana. In the opinion of the court, counsel for the first respondent is justified. That's my lawyer. In his statement of case, when he argues that the name Victor Kusi Boateng, which the supposed applicant refers to as his alias, is not an alias. The name Victor Kusi Boateng is actually another identity actively used by the applicant. Paragraph 87. In the face of such overwhelming evidence, the averment made by the applicant in this supplementary affidavit to the effect that he has been informed by his lawyer and verily believes him to be true, that per the laws of Ghana, the fact that a person can be identified by two different sets of names is not a crime, and such a person will not be denied the protection of his fundamental human rights enshrined in the 1992 Constitution by virtue of the fact that he is identified by two different sets of names, is, in the view of the court, completely misconceived. Completely misconceived. Paragraph 88. This is because the evidence placed before this court does not disclose a simple case of an individual who is identified by two different sets of names, but rather it discloses a case of an individual who deliberately uses two different identities in his public dealings. Public dealings. I hope Siraj is listening. Public dealings. Either to conceal his true identity or to exploit a loophole in the law, or for whatever reason best known to him, such that but for the revelations made by the first respondent, it would be difficult for any public institution or person dealing with the applicant to relate one identity with the other. Paragraph 89. The evidence before this court discloses a pattern of duplicity and lack of transparency on the part of the applicant, which borders on criminality. And the failure of applicant's counsel to appreciate the import of his client's conduct and to advise him appropriately is unfortunate, to say the least. Even his lawyers in this judgment were criticized by the judge. As was stated earlier, this court has had to painstakingly comb through the totality of the evidence before it in order to decipher the identity of the applicant who commenced this action because of the contention over his true identity. Having established that the applicant, who describes himself as Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, alias Victor Kusi Boateng, operates in two distinct and separate identities concurrently, the question, which of the applicant's two identities is the originator of this action, is relevant, as that will enable the court to make specific orders at the end of the case. In other words, the court must know whether the applicant before it is Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, who was born on 30th December 1969, and whose mother's maiden name is Yajemfua, or Victor Kusi Boateng, who was born on 7th September 1971, and whose mother's maiden name is Agnes Atta.
So the court is even confused.
Even the court said they were confused. They don't know who is before them. Incredible. And all of this evidence attached to my petition. Judge says, oh, for these criminal matters, that one, yeah, we admit is criminal, but it happened in his private life before 2017. Baseless. Not true. Now let me quickly deal with the conflict of interest. Very quickly. Very quickly. Let me wind up on that. Very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. You know, oh, this country. On the conflict of interest, Doc, we've talked about how Shraj didn't find records, isn't it?
They say.
Yes. They say they didn't find records. Then they produce another statement from the board chair of the National Cathedral, Professor Opoku-Nyina, who says this, quote, on the issue of the absence of minutes, the board chair of the third respondent stated thus, quote, documentations on issues involving the National Cathedral of Ghana and JNS Talent Center Limited from January 2020 to September 2021. Kindly note, it was a normal administrative transaction and was therefore not recorded in the minutes of the board.
So it means that it was not a decision taken at the board.
Exactly.
What the chairman is saying is that it wasn't a board decision.
It wasn't a board decision.
Okay, so then that explains why Shraj didn't have to speak to any of the trustees. That explains it.
Yeah.
So
because the board chair is saying this, that it was not documented. It says it was an offer made by GNS Limited, which was paid within a short period. But you see, Shraj makes a very startling revelation and discovery. And I am shocked that it didn't play a role in determining the conflict of interest matter. Let me quote that paragraph. Quote, the danger of such informality in the handling of affairs is evidenced in the situation where the resolution of the fifth respondent, and fifth respondent must be JNS, I assume, yes, JNS Talent Center, that's the fifth respondent. The danger of such informality in the handling of affairs is evidenced in the situation where the resolution of the fifth respondent company to transfer the money to the National Cathedral, SB 28, predated the formal request for the money by the third respondent. Third respondent is the National Cathedral.
No, go on again.
Incredible.
No, just go back.
And I'm surprised that people are not being critical. They're not even reading the report. It says the danger of such informality in the handling of affairs is evidenced in the situation where the resolution of the fifth respondent, that's JNS Talent Center company, to transfer the money to the National Cathedral, SB 28, predated the formal request for the money by the third respondent.
So JNS, they provided documentary proof that there was a board resolution to lend the money to the cathedral. However, their board resolution was done before the request by the board,
by National Cathedral. Can you believe that?
They were operating a spiritual realm.
Can you believe that? Only spiritual realm.
No, they could foresee that a request like that will come.
Incredible.
And this is Shraj.
Saying
that the resolution by JNS predates the request for the thing.
Yes, there is more. Listen to Shraj. Shraj says, the resolution to transfer the money to the National Cathedral by the third respondent was passed on 25th August 2021. Whereas the formal request for the loan by the National Cathedral is dated 26 August 2021. CSB 2021.
Maybe. No, there's an explanation to this. There's an explanation. Hold on.
Yeah.
They are talking about a resolution. 25th. By JNS. And a formal request on the 26th. It is possible that there was a verbal, an informal request prior to 25th. And JNS acted, they had a resolution based on the informal request. And they probably requested for a formal documentation, which was done on the 26th. Yes.
And is that proper?
Oh, I'm not saying it's proper. I'm just saying that to the extent that I'm sure that
this one you are guessing. You are guessing.
Yeah.
Why didn't Shraj probe that matter further? Why? Because Shraj makes the discovery. It says that look, the documents we have received It clearly doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense.
I'm sure there was an informal discussion.
Really?
Yeah, which led to DNS.
Informal discussion at where?
You know,
informal discussion at where? Because here is the board chair saying that this matter wasn't discussed at the board.
In fact,
it didn't come up.
In fact, this is a situation where a three director company knows that to take such a decision there has to be a resolution and a document.
At least.
However, the National Cathedral does not know that.
$300
does not know that
million
to take a loan you need a
board resolution.
Anyway, it's okay. Sammy, it's okay.
It's okay. And I'm being vilified out there.
It's fine. Just leave.
Sammy has followed this for very long time, and of course, I believe that most of the documents he proves shows that painstaking job was indeed done. But you see, what interests me, of course, he has the right to critique the work of Suraj. In one vein, Suraj did a great job by establishing the procurement breaches that he alluded to earlier. Of course, and we all agree that if the law is the law, we must all follow it. Now, if procurement breaches are indeed cited and seen, and people have acted contrary to the law, obviously, it is important that we all, bring that up for future, deterrence, as it were. Now, on the issue of identity, Suraj is clear that, look, based on the work we have done,
it's not on the issue of identity.
On the issue of passports,
not identity.
Not identity, because they had actually not gone into the identity.
Passports.
On the issue of passport, based on the work we have done, the man is not indeed,
all passports we've seen are one name. All four, and that including the expired ones.
I mean, there's for them, they feel that all the passports that they have seen indeed bear one name, and of course, same bits. According to them. Therefore, whatever allegations that is brought before
on the issue of passport,
nothing is found.
Right.
Like I said, this is an evolution that we all have, and a growing democracy, and the likes of some of these works. Of course, I encourage it. Clearly, if we all look at some of these and go into the future, we tell ourselves that, look, whatever you are doing, you are being watched. Whatever you want to do, remember that we have laws governing whatever we do. Therefore, every step of the way, somebody might come up with questions for you to answer. In fact, I am more than convinced that this work is ongoing. Answers are yet to come for us to establish once again, the clarity of whatever is there and to discuss further whatever we have on the table. But given us today, this morning, Sammy's submission, I think that Sammy, I must credit him. Some work has been done. Some revelations have been made. We are waiting to see how, if you like, it's going to churn out. I have very little to say on this.
Okay. All right. We need to take a break, but before we do that, today is the 66th birthday of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Yes. President of the Republic of Ghana.
66 today. So happy 66th birthday to you. H.E. John Dramani Mahama, happy birthday.
We are deferring the birthday celebrations to 9th December.
You think so?
Right after the declaration of his victory.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Let's see what happens.
So a happy 66th birthday to H.E. John Dramani Mahama. I'm sure he's in Accra, right? I'm sure he's in Accra.
Yes, he was in the Western region.
Because he was in Accra yesterday. He has
campaign somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, this birthday is also shared with a Deputy Director General of the Ghana Prison Service, Mrs. Patience Bafo Boni. Today is your birthday as well, Mrs. Patience Bafo Boni, Deputy Director General of Ghana Prison Service.
She'll be very busy on the oral.
And this is from your husband and your children. They say a happy birthday to you. They wish you the very, very best, good health, long life, and they want you to continue being the mother, a sweet and loving mother as you've been to all of them, and a husband as well, a wife as well to all of them. And they wish you the very, very, very best. She's actually also a lawyer. Okay. All right. We'll be back shortly.
There's nothing worse than your multi-bet missing, but nothing better than having it saved. BetSaver.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is, I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Chale, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay, and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Mahama once said, I've seen more demonstrations and strikes in my first 2 years. I don't think it can get worse in the second 2 years. I have the dead goat syndrome.
Dada Noir. On December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development.
Esuro.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread you call mattress anymore? Don't some sleepers then follow me.
It is part of the mattress we did the front there.
Yeah?
That'd be the mattress where the dead for.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you can get an 8K. Get a packing from your book, one line. Hey, wait.
You can put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck.
Hey, yo, radio. We are star 712. It's a phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now, welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else? Let me choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Make it straight to option 4.
Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets.
I'm choosing random tickets.
Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
there are. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and prepare. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
No, my need you fear anything soon yet. Anna MPP need Dr. Bonia.
Bank of Ghana blamed for the collapse of 420 financial institutions between 2017 and 2020.
And I'm a papa do me a good Sisi our driver. They be a to petrol. A corner soon.
St.
and food costs skyrocketing, everyday Ghanaians are struggling to survive.
Emma Obia Usunyame Obedrin Dancho Muntu Aba Emma George Ramani Mahama any NDC na Axi Tremu Engenre Emayinina.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Using Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture, brought to you by Koa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana. Formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Koa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Koa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Koa MT Mixture. Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Koa MT Mixture. Choose Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244-726611 or 0591-565-778. This advert is
Over the past 7 years, Ghana has witnessed remarkable progress and transformation under the NPP. From education, job creation, infrastructure, and healthcare, they have paved the way for a brighter future. Free SHS has given every child the opportunity to pursue their dreams. Major infrastructure projects have connected our communities, improved healthcare services, have enhanced the well-being of our citizens, and more jobs are being created through 1D1F.
With better roads, I can transport my goods easily and reach more customers. NPP has truly made a difference in my life, and I want them to continue with their bold solutions.
With the NPP support for tech and innovation, my business has thrived. I believe they have a vision to lead us into the next chapter.
The improvements in our healthcare system have saved many lives. Thanks to free SHS, I completed secondary school without worrying about school fees. I believe in the NPP's vision for the future, and I want them to lead the next chapter.
Join us in writing the next chapter of Ghana's success story. The NPP's bold solutions will lead us to a brighter future.
Vote number 1 on the ballot.
Here's Kwame and Yao. Let's save. Bet saver. Win, even if your bet misses.
Mahama once said,
I've seen more demonstrations and strikes in my first 2 years. I don't think it can get worse in the second 2 years. I have the dead goat syndrome.
Dada Noir. On December 7th, vote for integrity, competency, and development.
the answer to my prayer. You knew we'd be everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight. Life, just a moment, blowing in the wind. We're trying to find
Blue Jeans Energy Drink.
time can tell us.
This year, I go vote Angaza. Even if they offer me all the wache in Ghana. Lai, I not go mess up.
Me too. Okrowoti power. Gonti, buy you. But with a shine on eyes, I hear say them they massage and change the result at the EC head office.
My people, I'm sure you're still talking about the election again. But what is the gist?
I heard they're able to change the figures at the EC head office and make our vote useless.
Let me assure you, even if we put your party's candidate, chairman, and general secretary as the EC chairperson and deputies, they will still not be able to steal the election for any candidate.
Sir?
The election is won or lost at the polling station, not at the EC head office. Every polling station has party agents watching like hawks.
But what about the ballot boxes? How do we know they are secure?
We dey treat the ballot boxes like them they carry pure gold. The ballot box is sealed with the seals of the Electoral Commission and all the political parties who choose to.
And the counting process, how do we know it's fair?
The counting is done openly for all to watch. Freely. The results go on a carbonized pink sheet. So what kind of pink sheet, no?
Yes.
The pink sheets are signed by all the agents. So we post a copy of the signed pink sheets at the polling station and also give copies to all the parties.
How are the results recorded?
From close to 40,000 polling stations, parties collate results from the pink sheets. Whoever gets the most votes from the pink sheets wins. Are you free? Are you fair?
So if the party fails to check the pink sheet properly,
blame yourself. Exactly. Look, the way the security services, the party agents, election observers, and even the media make wild they watch the election inside. Nobody go fit steal this election inside. The EC they ensure say the voting process it be free, it be fair, where it be transparent on top. So make confident, then go and cast your vote on election day. But remember, elections are won and lost at the polling station, not at the EC head office. 2024 election process, no, it be clean, no kululu.
Hey, Cha, once again you are welcome. Hey, how is my nephew?
By God's grace, he's well. It's the reason why I came here today. Opa, thank you for sending us money the last time. It was very useful. As I sent it to your nephew in school to be buying food small. You already know the feeding challenges with free SHS these days. He's already home for vacation, and I need some help to enroll him in private classes.
But he just left for school a few weeks ago. I mean, as for this your traffic light system, I don't understand. And we have to cough money for extra classes in this economy.
Look, it's unfortunate the way we are playing with the future of these children.
Yes.
This free senior high school program needs to be improved. And that is where John Mahama comes in.
They say he's coming to cancel the free SHS when he comes home.
How can the person who started the progressively free SHS program cancel it? Rather, he is going to maintain and improve it by abolishing the double track system, providing dedicated source of funding, and include the private senior high schools in the program. You know, he's also going to decentralize and improve the food procurement to make sure that our children can eat good food while they're in school.
Money can breathe.
I'm going to campaign for John Mahama because I want quality free SHS for my children. Enough of the traffic lights.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Enche na abatuo da nedu. December 7th. Efia no panon so. Kosi enwumre no num. Yemu bia wotumi se oboa. Siesie ye mayi dachi. Aba wo betu wo mampanyini. Ne mrahye bedwa abatuo no mu no. Betumi aboa den satraye mapa aba.
Mama nkyerɛ deɛ wobɛyɛ ama abatoɔ no so aba mfasoɔ. Wokodu polling station hɔ a hwɛ ne ho sɛ wo ne nipa a wodi wɔ abatoɔ nwoma no mu no. Sɛ wo voter ID card ayera mpo a kɔ wo polling station na yɛbɛma wo kwan ma wato aba. Na gye wo ballot paper. Afei hwɛ sɛ stamp a ɛma abatoɔ krataa no di mu no bɔ akyire. Nkekaeɛ biara ni so anaa ɛfa biara nte nsɛ yɛ. Wowie a kɔ abatoɔ adaka a yɛto aba wɔ mu no mu. Fa wo kokromoti ink na afei to bo ase fa tim box a ɛwɔ nipa a woto aba ama no ne din ne mfoni ne n'ahyɛnsodeɛ anim no mu. Hyɛ ne nso sɛ wode wo kokromoti bɛtim box ne nkoaa mu. Afei fa tissue anaa ntomago a ɛwɔ hɔ no paper wo nsa kama ansa na wasɔ ballot paper no mu biem. Bobɔ wo ballot paper no ne tintin mu fa hyɛ abatoɔ adaka no mu. Afei hyɛ ne nso sɛ yɛnyi w'abatoɔ no ntum sɛ kɔba sɛ wotim ma nipa mmienu ɛkorɔ wɔntim ama obiara anaasɛ stamp a ɛma ne di mu ne mmɔ akyire. Enti hwɛ ne yie. Yɛto aba no wie a abatoɔ mpanimfoɔ bɛhwɛ akan aba no frenkyem. Wɔbɛhwɛ sɛ abatoɔ nkrataa no di mu na wɔahyehyɛ akan no pɛpɛɛpɛ abere a party agents ani tua mu ɛrehwɛ deɛ ɛkɔ soɔ biara. Onua kayo sɛ abatoɔ yi ma wakwanya a wode bɛyi akannifoɔ a wɔbɛsi w'anan mu. Enti kɔto aba December 7th na wo nso kyerɛ w'adwen. W'abatoɔ yɛ wo daakye. Kae sɛ yɛde kokromotie ne to aba ɛnyɛ etuo ne asekan. Yɛnhia kodie biara ɛwɔ polling station. Electoral Commission of Ghana ɛna de kaseɛ bɔ yi brɛ wo.
There's nothing worse than your multi-bet missing. But nothing better than having it saved. BetSaver.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And you've all been there. You've placed the perfect multi-bet and it's all going your way until it's not. And one or more picks let you down. Well, with Betway's Bet Saver feature, you can win even if your bet misses. Even on multiple losses, you can get your bet back and more. Bet Saver is exclusive to Betway. Get way more. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet they're responsible with Betway, get way more. And the 2024 annual Thanksgiving service of the Jospon Group of Companies ends today. It started last Monday and it will end today. It's actually ongoing at the forecourt of the Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Naijo Ashalibutri Accra, and is under the theme Jesus Christ is more than enough, taken from Luke chapter 19 verse 8 and Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2. The Thanksgiving services are being held in all 261 districts across Ghana and 10 designated centers in Accra. So join the Jospon Group to thank God for his mercies throughout the year at the Zoom Lion head office or any of the 10 designated centers in Accra. Indeed, Jesus Christ is more than enough. Still with me on the show, I have Kamaldeen Abdullahi, our Consul General. So, are you referred to as H.E.?
Oh, not really, but right. Some do anyway.
Okay. And the Honorable Samuel Kuja too, Ablakwa. All right. Okay. So the Media Coalition on Election 2024 held a presser yesterday at the Ghana International Press Center on recent developments in the media landscape, where they dealt with issues about media accreditation for elections, invasion of Metro TV by armed policemen, invasion of Salt FM, comments of Ohinba Siedo Wuntumi FM and his arrest by the police initiative to provide liaison officers for media houses. Okay, and we will be speaking shortly with the GJ president on these issues. Don't forget that yes, the GG has been engaging the Electoral Commission on their yes, the issue about accreditation of media houses. We just said that it was in their wisdom. Whilst we are at it, there's also another issue with the Electoral Commission.
Ballot papers.
Yes, and because it has to do with a particular region, just one region, it's also raised a lot of eyebrows. And this has to do with this statement or this letter yesterday, dated yesterday, signed by Samuel Tetteh, Deputy Chairman of Operations, to representative of all presidential candidates, and it says that the Electoral Commission has identified some shortfalls on presidential and parliamentary ballot papers for the Ketu North, Ho Central, Ho and Ho West constituencies in the Volta region, and the shortfalls were printed by acts commercials. Political parties and independent presidential candidates are to provide 2 representatives each to observe the printing process. That's today, 29th of November at 10 a.m. at the premises of Acts Commercials Printing House in Accra. And they have attached the shortfalls of the ballot paper. So if you're watching us, you see the shortfalls per each area. I've also seen a post by the Director of Elections and IT of the NDC, Dr. Omani Boamah, on this particular issue. Apparently, there's an IPAC meeting this morning. So this is what Dr. Omani Boamah posted. 7 days to election day, another EC error affecting Volta region. Following the release of the letter titled Shortfall on Ballot Papers by the Electoral Commission of Ghana, we have engaged our dedicated eagle-eyed team that observed the printing and bagging process at ACT Commercial Printing House. The brief from our team makes it abundantly clear that the Electoral Commission of Ghana has committed another avoidable error. Our agents make it clear to us that the ballot statistics submitted to ACT Commercial Print House were complied with. This being the case, we call on the Electoral Commission not to sweep the cause of this avoidable error under the carpet. That Volta region, our stronghold, is experiencing such avoidable errors in series is not lost on us. The Electoral Commission must explain to Ghanaians how the shortfall occurred. I shall personally attend the IPAC meeting today in order to bring the plight of Volta region to the front burner this morning at 11 a.m. So the point that the Director of Elections and IT makes is that the brief from his team makes it abundantly clear that the ballot statistics submitted to ACT Commercial, the printers, were complied with. And so they want the EC not to just deal with this as just some error. And that to the extent that the ballot statistics were complied with, how that shortfall occurred or how these shortfalls occurred ought to be spoken to by the EC. I always make the case that we are in a situation where there's a high level of mistrust. And so anytime you find such issues, wahala.
Big wahala. Is it Randy? First of all, let me commend the EC for their swift response to issues sometimes. And also say that, look, they owe us a duty to ensure that our democracy grows and grows well. Yes, in as much as...
And just to add that the Electoral Commission has another one, also signed by Samuel Tetteh, shredding of 40 ballot papers. So they've also identified some 40 ballot papers. Sure. They say that they've scheduled tomorrow, Saturday 30th, to shred or burn all 40 ballot papers at the printing houses. So the political parties and independent candidates are to provide 2 reps each to observe the process. And so they've given the list and the timetable. So they say that at 10 a.m., Greater Accra, the constituency is Tema West, InnoLink Limited. Then at 12 noon, Upper West, Laura, Acts Commercial. That's the printing house. Then the same Upper West, 12 noon, Jirapa, Acts Commercials. Then the 12 noon, same Upper West, Lambusier, Arts Commercials, 12 noon. Then 1 p.m., Westin, Amenfi Central, Parliamentary, Checkpoint. Then 1 p.m., Central Region, Commander Edine Guafo Abrem, Presidential, Checkpoint. And 1 p.m., Central Region again, Cape Coast North, Presidential, checkpoint. So that's the schedule. That's what you can see on your screen now. And then you can see the type of election. There is only one which is parliamentary. That's the Memphis Central one. The rest are all presidential. And then you see the number of books, the number of booklets. Sorry, the number of booklets. So you can see them. For some, 2, 1, 3. The parliamentary one for Memphis Central, 657. I don't know if it has to do with the last minute, the court issues. Then you see the commander one, 510 booklets for presidential. Then Cape Coast North 2, you are looking at 670 or so. Okay, so those are the details.
Yes. So like I said, I commend them for these swift responses, and then of course the assurance that they give us. And again, I say they are supposed to ensure that our democracy grows and grow well. Sometimes we, the political parties, I think we sometimes raise issues which importantly we're supposed to. However, in raising those issues, we should also be clothed with some evidence when we get before the Electoral Commission to speak to those matters. I'm only expecting, and I only expect the Director of Election for the NDC, who says he would appear before the Electoral Commission at IPAC, to provide evidence, okay, to whatever allegations that is being made. Now look, if things are not right, nobody is supposed to be shortchanged. These are our evidence, and we think that you are the commission, work to it, ensure that the right thing is done so that we can have a free, fair election for all of us to accept, as it were. So far, so good, except that some few people will say, look, why the Volta region? K2 North, Ho Central, Ho, and all that. You know, some will read meanings to it. So it is my expectation that, look, the Electoral Commission, just as you have invited political parties to come with their representatives, okay, ensures that the right thing is done, and those representatives would also accept, okay, and acknowledge whatever that is done on the ground to say that, look, at the end of the day, we're going to have a free, fair election by all. What actually disturbed me a bit is what you mentioned earlier about the media coalition.
So let me just read it.
Coming out.
So let me read it.
Yeah, sure.
So they say that this is from the press statement. It says, colleagues, over the past few days, we've been inundated with calls from our rank and file over a decision by the Electoral Commission to restrict access to the media for the coverage of the elections, particularly at the various levels of the coalition, constituency, regional, and national. When this information came to our attention, we quickly reached out to the EC to protest against the decision. The EC subsequently issued a press statement indicating that it would engage the GJ and GIBA to further discuss the matter. The presidents of the GJ and GIBA had an engagement with the chairperson of the EC yesterday to discuss the matter. In that engagement, we clearly stated our position. The EC must give unfettered access to the media, to all the levels of voting and collation ballots. Collation of ballots, sorry. The parties agreed that GG and GIBA should present a proposal to the EC on the way forward, which we are working on now. Colleagues, we believe restricting access to the media will not be in the best interest of transparency, accountability, and access to information, which is always a major partnership essential for these elections. It will also weaken the strong steps being taken to trample upon misinformation and disinformation, which phenomena are a major concern in this year's elections. Restricted media houses may rely on sources of information that may not be wholesome, and that would compromise the integrity of the elections. In essence, restricting access to the media will hurt rather than help the quest for credible media reportage of the elections and a virtual outcome of same. Colleagues, what we expect the EC to do is to provide and improve mechanisms to facilitate the work of the media at all levels of voting and collation of ballots. In its latest press statement, the EC indicated that it's a listening body. We believe it also hears us. We hasten to add that we have had cordial relations with the EC. Just this past Tuesday and Wednesday, the GJ, with the kind support of the EC, organized 2 zonal training workshops for 80 journalists across the country with a view to equipping them with the requisite skills to ensure credible election reporting. The skills they have acquired to work for the good of Mother Ghana should not be restricted. Then they move on. Yesterday, a strange incident happened, 2 days ago, at Metro TV, when armed policemen invaded the premise of Accra-based television station to help an auctioneer and a bailiff serve a court order Okay, they didn't come to serve an order. So they forcibly entered one of the studios where the popular Metro TV morning show, Good Morning Ghana, was airing and disrupted the live program in the process. A private security officer detailed that the media house reportedly sustained head injuries and was rushed to hospital. We are told the Inspector General of Police intervened to restore law and order as well as calm to the media house. Colleagues, the invasion of Metro TV raises many critical questions. Why should the service of court order be done in such violent and chaotic manner? Why should the bearers of the court order be so bent on serving it on live television program and in such a violent manner? Was there no other way far better to serve the court order? If dishonoring a court order amounts to contempt of court, why must anyone seek to break, harm, and forcibly serve a court order? Why must gun-wielding policemen storm a media house where workers only wield microphones just to serve a court order? At the time the deafening trumpet sounded by the police administration recently to provide protection for media houses during the elections is still echoing, why should policemen go and threaten the lives of media workers at Metro TV? Are those armed policemen assigned to Metro TV as liaison officers? These questions are meant to be food for thought to all of us. Then it says, colleagues, in the early hours of Thursday, November 7, 2024, some thugs connected to the NDC parliamentary candidate for Asante Achim North, Chief Kofi Asamoah, stormed the premises of Salt FM, a local radio station, to register their displeasure about comments made by a program host of the station that the NDC parliamentary candidate was being sponsored by the MPP parliamentary candidate for the same constituency, Asante Achim North. In the process, 2 staff members of the radio station were reported to have been injured. Colleagues, the invasion of Salt FM was most unfortunate. We therefore condemn Chief Kofi Asamoah and his supporters for their unruly behavior. As a person seeking to become a lawmaker, the NDC parliamentary candidate ought to appreciate the rule of law. So no matter the nature of his grievance, he ought to use the due process of law to seek redress. We call on the leadership of the NDC to sanction Chief Kofi Asamoah in the severest terms for his dastardly attack on the media house. Indeed, we are absolutely dismayed at the silence of the NDC on this matter. We wish to remind the NDC, especially its flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, of the pledge he made at his media encounter on July 7, 2024, that he does not condone attacks against the media. We hope the silence of the NDC on this incident does not give credence to the adage that silence means consent. Colleagues, while condemning Chief Kofi Asamoah and his supporters for attacking the radio station, we equally condemn the program host for his unprofessional conduct. The allegation he made was wild and baseless. No broadcaster with high sense of professionalism will ever make such allegations. We call on the management of Salt FM to sanction the host and give him and other staff members proper and professional orientation. As we head towards December 7 election, we admonish media practitioners to avoid unsubstantiated and inflammatory comments that could spark tension, violence, and breach of the peace. Also, we should not give our platforms to political actors who may want to foment trouble. We should be professional at all times. Then he moves on. Colleagues, still in the Ashanti region, we are aware of the arrest of Ohiniba Siedu, a program host on Wontumi Radio / television, for making unguarded comments about voting in the December 7 elections. He had suggested that voting would take place for some presidential candidates on December 7, with other candidates having their turn at a different date after December 7. That was a reckless statement and we condemn it in no uncertain terms. The role of the media is to inform and educate. It is never to deceive and distort. That is why Ohiniba Siedu's comments are an apology to ethical and professional practice, and such characters must not be allowed to sit on radio and television. In fact, Wontumi Radio / TV in Kumasi has gained notoriety for unprofessional media practice, and we condemn their acts of professional misconduct. We urge the National Media Commission to take steps to rein the station in. However, colleagues, although we condemn Ohiniba Siedu for the unfortunate comments he made, we do not appreciate the police using the obnoxious Section 208 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29 to criminalize free speech. On July 27, 2001, Ghana's parliament unanimously repealed the criminal libel law. But more than 2 decades thereafter, Ghana police, acting as pallbearers, seek to unilaterally resurrect and bring back criminal libel through the ghost parts of the obnoxious Section 208 of the Criminal Offences Act and Section 76 of the Electronic Communications Act, Act 775. Okay. I'll leave it here. There are other issues. But
yes. But Randy.
Yes.
And tensions are high. Given the times that we are in now, few days to elections, NDC is up, working, MPP working, other political parties, independent candidates working and all that. We all expect to get the mandate of the people to run the affairs of this country. Now, institutions have been earmarked by law to deal or to work as key stakeholders in this particular, elections. One of such institutions is the Electoral Commission. And like I mentioned earlier on, the Electoral Commission owes us a duty to ensure that we all witness a free, fair elections. But you see, how do you attain that when there's no, if you like, proper relationship between you and the media. The media stands to assist the Electoral Commission to, if you like, propagate whatever that they have coming from their outfit in line with the elections. Whatever that they have to say to the people to be assured of their independence and the conduct that they're going to give to the elections, as it were. I think that the Public Affairs Department of the Electoral Commission had a lot of work to do prior to even these days. How proactive were they? When you know that we have 2-3 months to election, your Public Affairs Department could have had a data, or would have by now have a data of all the media houses and all the print media houses in this country. Then you know that, look, I am supposed to give media accreditations to these people. There's brouhaha of some saying that, look, we are going to be cut off, we're not going to be allowed to, cover the elections and all that. Would not have happened. So if we have a data at the Public Affairs Department, say every region, Upper East region for instance, we are dealing with maybe say 2 print houses, media houses. We are dealing with say 3 electronic media houses. Okay, you come to Northeast, you come all the 16 regions, you have a data on your table. I'm not sure some people will cry foul to say that, look, we have gone there and we are told that we're not supposed to be given accreditation, all that. What work did we do before that? It is not for the Electoral Commission to say that we are gagging the media at all, and I don't think they do so, or they're seeking to do that. So whatever that you do, you should be proactive about it. Have a data in place. Say, I'm going to deal with 300 media houses, 200 media houses. I'm going to deal with 400, whatever data that you have. Nobody at the end of the day will come in and then, is not on the list to demand for accreditations. So the Electoral Commission, let us do a great job, region by region. Whatever accreditation that you're supposed to give, ensure that this is an accredited media house. That media house, of course, plays a role in this election. Give them the accreditations. Let them go out there. There's nothing to hide. Whatever that they're supposed to cover, they cover and then bring it out. And of the same vein, we say, the media, please, the misinformation and disinformation we're talking about is just rather too much, especially on the social media. We should be responsible. It is important we also appeal to the media to be very responsible in their reportage. Because where we are, just a little, issue can cause a lot of problems. And I think that we should, as a country, guide our democracy and grow as a people. Whoever wins at the end of the day, I know the NPP is going to win anyway, okay? It's for Ghana. Randy, we are appealing also to the political parties. I think when you read the statement, they cited the NDC being silent on something that happened somewhere in Asante Achim. Again, as a political party, when it suits us, we are quiet. If it goes the other way, we are quick to come to the media to chastise whoever is involved. I think it's about time we also appear responsible, talk to our people, let them understand that Ghana is the only Ghana we have. MPP held Ghana for some time now. NDC were in power some time ago. That is how it goes. When NDC were in power, the NPP did not burn. When NPP is in power today, the NDC is certainly not burning. We are one people. So whatever that is happening and we find that is wrong, it is important we come out as a political party to condemn it, but not to be quiet about it. When you are quiet and silent on some of these issues, you embolden some people who are miscreants, who just want to foment trouble. Go out there, in the next moment, the name called NDC is brought down. So whether NDC, MPP, let us all come out to condemn what we feel is untoward in our society. This election would come and go, and we'll still be brothers and sisters in this country. We'll still be together. Whoever emerges as the winner, we come together again and move on. The development of Ghana is what matters, necessarily not a political party. Then finally, to media hosts. or maybe say journalists, or people who write, what do we feed the people? What do we say when we are behind the microphone? Okay, this, my good brother who is said to have been arrested for some comments he made. I mean, what were the facts? What do you have on your table? How on earth can we say the election will be held today and tomorrow, the next day, some other political party will come and hold it? Yes. I mean, this is completely a misinformation or disinformation you are giving out there. But I like the bet when the GJ or the Media Coalition statement says that, look, we have gone past criminal libel law. I mean, there's nothing like that. I mean, for the police to always come in when some of these things happen, they should pull the brakes a bit and then see how we institute the civil, procedure when some of these things come up, so that we would not put fear, okay, in the people who are seeking to disseminate information for us as a country. Largely, I just want to say that, look, whether we like it or not, December 7th will come, inshallah. Elections will be held. There will be a winner. And if there's a winner, of course, inshallah, if it's free and fair, we are all going to come out to embrace whoever won or the results of the election, and Ghana will still be Ghana, and we'll move on. That is what is going to happen. Nobody should think that a political party is going to win and some people are going to, vanish. They're going to be there anyway. I sit here as a Consul General of, Ghana to Jeddah, maybe because of the government appointing me there. My brother sits here as Member of Parliament for, North Tongue, right? Yeah. North Tongue, of course, and he's been voted or given the mandate by the people to sit there. So I think we are all together, we are brothers, and we should not do anything to destroy our democracy. Right. That's what I have to say.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, Doc, this matter to do with the shortfall of ballot papers is not a matter that we should take lightly at all. The Electoral Commission cannot just issue this statement and say that there are shortfalls, and so today we are going to print the missing ballot papers, and then we all leave it at that. There are very, very grave ramifications. What if what is accounting for this shortfall is a diversion where the ballot papers that are missing have ended up in the wrong hands and people are preparing to stuff ballot boxes with them? What if? That is why I agree with our Director of Elections and IT, Dr. Omane Boamah, that it's not just a matter that we leave and congratulate the EC PR department for issuing this statement. No. Doc, in 2008, I was a member of the NDC's ballot printing monitoring team. Dr. Omane Boamah was with us, Kobe Ballon and others. That was perhaps my first, political appointment, from the NDC. Before we leave the printing houses, we all check that the quantum that the Electoral Commission apportioned to every printing house, the printing house has met that quantum. And then we all sign as representatives of our parties. And then we supervise how the ballot papers are put together, sealed. Indeed, all the parties, we go with our own seals. So there's the Electoral Commission seal, and then we have our seals, which we affix to the containers that become the receptacle for the ballot papers. So if political party representatives have signed, and as Dr. Omane Boamah is saying, There was no report from our party representatives. We haven't also heard same from our colleagues in the MPP and other political parties that there was a shortfall at Acts commercials.
The ballot statistics.
The ballot statistics, and they have all signed. So what happened? And we all know that on Wednesday, all our party reps across the regions and constituencies were asked to come and monitor the arrival of the ballot papers. My constituency reps were there. They presented me a detailed report on Wednesday. So we know I have the statistics for Northton. Interestingly, they tell me that the extra for the first time this election is 2%. Normally it's 5%, I think according to the CI, but they observed 2%, which was quite strange. It's all in the report that they gave to me. So the process is policed with representatives at every point. How did this shortfall occur? Or is the EC suggesting that all our reps were sloppy?
No, but we should be asking
They
our
didn't
reps
do,
questions too.
they didn't do their work, because that would be very strange.
No, we should be asking our reps too as well.
If they were not sloppy, and they all signed based on the statistics, because I've done this work before, and it's such a tiring, you don't sleep.
Yeah.
You don't sleep. You're holding your coffee. Those who chew cola. I find cola so bitter, I'm not able to go near it. You know, you don't sleep. Your eyes are open. You know the mistrust. You know, you don't even pick calls. You are constantly on your feet, monitoring the printing. You don't want any diversion. And then we count and we sign. So how did this happen? And then to see that, strangely, all the shortfall is in our region. How did this happen?
I know you'll go there, Sammy.
I mean, no. I mean, statistically, don't you find this
Sammy, I know
very
you'll
bizarre?
go there, I know.
No, I have to go there. I have to go there. Keta, K2 North, Ho Central, Hohoi, Ho West, where we win the presidential by a landslide. Probably the only outlier is Hohoi, where we lost the parliamentary, but even that, everybody knows, it's an NDC stronghold. So, what explains this? So, this is a grave matter. What if these ballot papers have ended up in the wrong hands? And those miscreants, as they will be, because it is a violation of our electoral laws, are preparing to go and do ballot box stuffing.
So rather than just telling us that
Yes.
you've identified a shortfall,
You must
you should
institute
be telling us
investigations.
how
Exactly.
that shortfall
How
occurred.
that shortfall occurred. And how you are instituting investigations into this.
And how come
That's the
nobody
first thing.
detected
Exactly.
that shortfall
Exactly.
until it was transported?
Your own EC officials, our reps, all the political parties who have all signed that the quantities have been printed. And then in transit, it's only after, because on Wednesday our reps went to
You are
supervise that they have arrived. No, I mean, we were all asked to send our reps.
Yeah, because this statement is after
It's
the arrival of the ballot
after the
papers,
arrival.
yes.
Because as we speak, you know that all the ballot papers have arrived. Indeed, today, after the Wednesday they arrived in the regions, today we have been asked to send our reps to follow the police and EC to the districts. It's going to now be stored in the various district
Police station.
strongholds,
Okay.
which are largely police stations. So today, this morning, my reps, I have the names. They send me a report on the hour. They will be monitoring. We've provided vehicles for them to follow. Only for us to be hearing about these shortfalls. These are not matters that you take lightly. In elections that we know in this country, can sometimes be won by 80,000. Can sometimes be won by even 24.
Even 40,000.
There are even 3. There are MPs who have come to parliament with a 3-vote margin. So an extra ballot paper can make a huge difference in the wrong hands if they go and stuff it. So please, the first thing the EC should be doing is telling us what the investigative processes are.
How it occurred.
How did this occur? They must investigate and assure us that these ballot papers are, first of all, not missing, 2, not in the wrong hands. Sure. And then what measures are we going to put in place? Because if we all know that, hey, some ballot papers are out there in the wrong hands, let's all be extra vigilant to prevent ballot box
And in
stuffing.
this case, it should be easier for us
Exactly.
To be able to identify.
Because they come with
which
serial numbers. Exactly. Every constituency has a unique serial number.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, so and remember that when you are counting votes after 5 p.m. elections, remember that in Ghana,
people don't go looking for serial numbers.
You don't look. But even before then, in Ghana, under our laws, if you are in the queue before 5 p.m., you must be allowed to vote.
Yes.
So normally, by the time the last person votes, it's evening.
Past 5, yeah.
It's past 5. It's evening. It gets a bit dark and all of that. You know, nobody is busy checking serial numbers. You know, so if they go and stop this somewhere else, it will be counted. So these are serious matters. You don't just issue these cavalier statements and say that, come with your reps.
I like the bit when you mentioned about the process being policed by us.
Yes.
And where we have our
signing.
representatives there.
Yes.
You see, how did we arrive at the shortfall?
Yes.
It's a very relevant question.
Exactly.
But the point is, what report did we also receive as political parties from our
At least our director says that they checked the report and they said that they complied with the statistics.
Yeah. So what happened?
So what happened?
Well, but...
so what happened?
So that's what the EC must tell us.
The EC must tell us that. Now let me quickly deal with the media issues. And Doc, I'll be remiss if I do not express sincerest commiserations and solidarity with you. I was in the Bono East, and let me use this opportunity to thank. I've done a 6-region tour this week, and it's been really amazing from Ashanti region, Northern region, Savannah region, Bono East, Central region. It's been absolutely incredible. There is no doubt that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is winning with a landslide, landslide everywhere. Look, even the Ashanti region.
Interesting.
The reception, how people are clamoring for a message, our T-shirts, you know, how it's just, I mean, we didn't want to leave. I arrived at 3 a.m. today, you know. So, what is happening in this country with the abuse of security services? Police, you know, and then they are leading so-called judgment debt enforcers and live television program they want to invade. I mean, why? To achieve what? And one will ask the question, if this continues and we allow it during elections, if results are being announced and some people don't like how it is going, you know, these are some of the consequences. You know, so there are matters that we all must condemn and we should not accept at all. Media freedom is guaranteed under the 1992 Constitution. And media houses cannot be invaded in the manner in which...
I mean, last year they did the same thing.
I mean, it's totally wrong.
A guy called Georgiado.
Totally wrong.
Geldmat, G-E-L-D or so.
Totally wrong.
He's the one who's been leading this police.
You don't do that.
Last year one, they are covered their faces.
I mean, look at that.
Cross my vehicle.
I mean, look at that. I mean,
right here in this compound.
It's totally wrong. You don't do that. And look, the IGP.
His wife is a high court judge and he's politically connected.
No, but it doesn't give him the right to do that. And the IGP must be questioning that police officer who led them, because he ought to have known better.
Two
of them.
The one that happened 2 days ago, there were 2 armed policemen. The one that happened last year, it was a pickup full of policemen armed to the teeth, and they had covered their face. You know that you can see only their eyes and their mouth.
You don't do that. You don't
cross
do
my
that.
vehicle. I was watching a movie.
You know, totally condemnable, and they ought to be investigated for their conduct and sanctioned. You do not do that. This is an affront.
A court gave you the order. The court
media
themselves, a court gave you an order to come and do this.
I mean, certainly not. No court will give you an order to go disrupt a live show, you know, and intimidate a panel. You don't do that. You know, so all of this ought to be condemned, and it should not be tolerated at all. Now I come to the Electoral Commission's very, very strange, rather curious directive to all their regional and district coalition centers, their EC officials, that they should select only 12 media houses. How? I mean, and they say that this is from their rich wisdom and that they want to control numbers. In Ghana, we don't control numbers or coalitions. Everybody, indeed, political parties all urge our supporters. After you vote, you can go probably have lunch and come back. We count openly and publicly. The fundamental basis for free, transparent, credible elections is that the process is in the full glare. Everybody sees and follows what is going on. So why do you want to limit? Look, the EC should rather be encouraging more media houses. There should be unfettered access by the media. You should rather be encouraging that. Because if you do that, it builds confidence. People see that, oh, this electoral commission, they have nothing to hide. They want everybody to come and follow the process. So when you begin to limit, people then ask questions. How free is this going to be? How open is this going to be? How transparent? And these are cardinal principles when you want to judge credible elections. You want to assess credible elections. This is the criteria. So the Electoral Commission has not done its image any good. And I want to salute the media fraternity who have risen up against this. The Media Foundation for West Africa, the Ghana Journalists Association, Brimpark, Giba, and all of them. I have heard them roundly condemn this together with other civil society organizations. The question that logically arises, how are the 12 media houses going to be selected? What criteria will be used? Who is going to be in? Who is going to be left out? Why do you want to create this problem for yourself?
In fact, they even restricted it to TV and radio.
I mean, how? TV and radio.
So newspapers don't exist.
Newspapers are online portals. Online portals. In this digital age, you are living out online portals.
Proactive about this.
I mean, whoever came up with this. I mean, look, this is the errors, the very infantile mistakes. I mean, and sometimes. And if they are not errors, it's even worse. If they are not errors, it's even worse. That means it's premeditated. Yeah. And you are really determined to close the process, shroud it in some secrecy. No. You have only a select media house that you have selected. Your preferred media house.
In fact, they ask their district officers to determine which media houses are credible.
I mean, how? No criteria. So look.
Well, they said they departed from that wisdom. So.
Yeah. This wisdom should never have come into their heads, and they should quickly commence. I go back to the first matter. Quickly commence investigations. It's important. Assure us that those ballot papers are not in the wrong hands. That they have found them. You know, it's absolutely crucial.
We cannot conclude that ballot papers shortfall. Could it also be that they were not printed in the first place?
But how come all our parties' officials have signed that they met the statistics?
That's where the issue was.
Yes,
and then
because you don't have any
Our
report.
party representative did a sloppy job. You asked that
Yeah.
So
Maybe,
fine.
Yeah,
I'm sure at the IPAC meeting they will raise some of these things, and then the solutions will be, given to it.
Because the same electoral, they say also they have identified some discrepancies in some serial numbers on presidential ballot papers for Brekum West and Brekum East. In Brekum West, the serial numbers of the ballots are different from that on the counterfoil.
At the instant of printing.
And it's made up of 7 of the 100 booklets and 1 of the 25 booklets for presidential ballots. And Brekum East has inconsistent and duplication of serial numbers. This is made up of 3 of the 100 booklets and 1 of the 50 booklets. And 1 of the 25 booklets. Serial numbers do not follow sequentially. 2 of the 10 booklets having the same serial numbers.
Yeah. And you remember the earlier one also in the Volta region where they printed some without serial numbers.
Yeah,
it's so elementary. You wonder what's going on.
I hope that at IPAC they will iron some of these things out. And,
anyway, all right. So gentlemen, thanks. We need to go, but a happy 66th birthday once again to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Happy 66th birthday to you. We wish you the very, very, very best. Yes.
Our former president.
An incoming president. Happy birthday.
And who will remain former president after December 7th.
Okay. It's also your birthday, Mrs. Patience Bafuboni, who's the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Prison Service. Happy birthday to you. It's also the birthday of Boatima Bafuewa, who's the the CEO of Star Life. It's your birthday today, so CEO Boatim Abuafo, we're happy birthday to you. It's also the birthday of Zuriel John Bubune Gan. So happy birthday to you, Zuriel John Bubune Gan. Happy birthday to you. And Rhoda Edi Yakusi, you're the branch manager of UMB at Legon, the Legon branch of UMB. Is it UMB or UMB Bank? You know, it used to be Universal Merchant Bank. I'm sure it's now UMB Bank. Okay. So, Rhoda Edi Yakusi, you're the branch manager of UMB on Legon campus. Happy birthday to you as well. All right. So up next is Metro Sports. We wish you the very best this weekend.